losers here. Democrats aren't interested in helping every American. They're cherry pickers. Everything they do or say is driven by special interest identity politics. Don't just take my word for it. Look at what happened this week in smelly San Francisco. The city's overrun by homeless tent cities infested with violence and drugs. So, Liberal Mayor London Breed proposed a $6 million plan to end homelessness. Sounds like a good idea, right? But that's where you're wrong. That money is only for transgendered homeless people. Because Democrats don't want to fix the problem, they just want a virtue signal. There's around 8,000 homeless people in San Francisco, a real crisis. But Mayor Breed is only aiming to save 400 of them who happen to be transgender. How is this a plan? It doesn't fix the problem. There's no virtue in their virtue signaling. I mean, do straight homeless lives matter? It's immoral to let Americans fester and die in the streets from addiction, poverty, and crime. And then signal you only care about 5% of them? And this isn't the only example. Last week, the Biden administration announced they were canceling student loan debt. But again, it's not what you think. Biden is only canceling federal student loans for 500,000 young Americans who borrowed money to attend Corinthian College, which went bankrupt. So if you saved and paid for Corinthian College, you're out of luck. Or if you borrowed and went to any other college, you're out of luck. Biden learned this from Barack. You can pick and choose who you bail out for political purposes. And maybe the worst example happened just the other day, when the Biden administration created the Office of Environmental Justice. So what is this office? Well, it's just as stupid as it sounds, with HHS saying the plan will, quote, identify priority actions and strategies to best address environmental injustices and health inequities for people of color and disadvantaged, vulnerable, low-income, marginalized, and indigenous populations. So it's just another equity play by Biden. If you're white, they can spew pollution at you, I guess. But if you're not white, they'll clean it up and send you a check. Look, I want everybody to be helped. But environmental injustice can't only be targeted at specific groups. The list goes on and on. Illegal immigrants get baby formula and free plane tickets. Clinton cronies get rigged juries, but Trump supporters get prison sentences. Biden targets legal guns, but lets ex-cons run wild with hot ones. Oh, and of course, no pipelines, but you get tax credits for windmills and solar panels all day. This is what Biden's all about, dividing and conquering. Are we going to let this happen? Stephen Miller is the founder of America First Legal and former senior advisor to President Trump. It's kind of sick what they're doing when you break it down, isn't it, Stephen?
It is sick, because everything they're doing is targeted against everyday, hardworking, law-abiding, rule-following Americans. They're the punching bag on everything. Your guns get taken away. Not the criminals, they roam free. They just walk into a store, take everything, walk out, no problem. You lose your job. Illegal immigrants, they get flown to the city of their choice and set up with the dream life here in the United States of America. You can't afford your gasoline. They get to fly on private jets and go to conferences in Europe and Brussels and Paris and so forth. We are answering every day a question that nobody wanted the answer to, which is what would happen if you took a group of people with way too many degrees who believe that men have uteruses and get pregnant, and you put them in charge of the country. And the results of that experiment are very, 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 very bad.
You know, you're right about the smash and grabs. You can go in, smash and grab a bunch of jewelry, and then they'll book you out in about 10 minutes. But if you're Peter Navarro, they will literally pull you off of a plane, shackle you, and throw you in the brig. I mean, do you think the rest of the country sees what's going on here? Right.
Peter Navarro is a senior citizen, and apparently they were worried he would overpower them, but for shackling his legs so that he couldn't run away and break out of the courthouse, a known public safety threat. But gangbangers who are in and out of the system their whole adult lives, beating people up, threatening people, breaking into their homes, dealing drugs, that murder our children. They're just in and out a revolving door. No bail, no pretrial detention, no nothing. Just live your life, do whatever you want. We could save thousands of lives a year if we actually did something really simple, which is putting criminals in jail and keeping criminals in jail. Not Republicans, criminals. Putting criminals who hurt people in jail. But the Democrats won't do that because, see, they're opposed to mass incarceration.
No, I mean, that would make too much sense because you really have to focus on wiping out the student loans of the transgender illegal aliens. That's really critical.
Stephen Miller, transgender illegal
yourself
aliens
this
with
weekend.
student loans. That's the problem. Yes.
That's right. That's their targeted demographic. That's right. Save them. Their lives matter.
Good luck with the midterms on that one.
Can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop.